Good morning, friends and family. I hope that you guys are feeling blessed beyond measure. I wanted to share something with you guys. It's been a while since I've posted something here, but I thought this was worth sharing with you guys. I used to be a golfer, and there's a saying in golf that if you leave a putt short, so when you're on the green and you're putting a golf ball, there is a 100% chance you won't make it if you leave it short. You can't make a putt unless you get it to the hole. You've got to hit it hard enough for it to actually get there in order for you to be able to have any chance of making it. And I was reading, about sin and what sin really is, like the difference between sin and wickedness and evil and all of those things. And there is a difference. There's a difference in all of those things. And I think that a lot of times we forget what sin really actually means. Sin doesn't just mean, some people will say, and even I have said in the past, which is partially true, sin is missing the mark, right? So it's like you've got an arrow, right? You've got a bow and arrow, and you are aimed at the target, and you miss the mark. Except sin's not missing the mark. Sin is coming up short of the mark. Like the arrow didn't even get there. Not only did you miss it, you had no chance of hitting it. You came up short. It's missing the mark by coming up short, which means you didn't get the arrow there. You didn't have a chance of hitting the target. You came up short of it. I have struggled often in my life with awareness versus access. So this is something that I've learned from a guy that I follow and watch frequently, to keep my head pointed in the right direction, because this guy is just chock full of kingdom principles. I love him to death. There's nothing new under the sun. A lot of the stuff that I learn, I share with you here in these videos because it's so good. But one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about is the difference between access and awareness. So a lot of times we are perfectly aware of what stops us from doing a thing. We are perfectly aware of why we can't do something. We very often will discount our access to do something. If you are only aware of why you can't do something, then you can't by default be also aware of why you can. Like you're one or the other. And I think that a lot of times we don't even try to do some of the things that we would like to do or that we might feel like we could do, because we're so focused on all the reasons why we can't do it. And hey, I'll raise my hand. I have been guilty of that many times in my life, where I just feel like I'm not good enough, right? I'm not smart enough. I don't have enough education. I don't have enough this. I don't have enough that. I'm not this. I'm not that. Whatever. Fill in the blank. We all have that, right? Now, maybe you don't. Maybe you're one of the few who is supremely confident in all of your talents and gifts and skills and abilities. You know exactly the way that God has blessed you, and you have maximized your life to the most. And if that is you, God bless you. Please DM me, text me, let me know your secret, because I do not have it figured out. The older I get, the more I learn, and the tougher the lessons get too. So I'm trying to share these lessons with my daughters, but they are resistant to hearing them. Now more than ever, we have unbelievable access to as much information as we want to have. You can literally go online and ask AI any question you want to know, and everything on the internet is accessible to you. Obviously, there are some pros and cons to that. Please let me encourage you, as I encourage myself, to be more aware of the access, the opportunity that we have around us, versus being limited by what we can't see or won't see. The Bible says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. Was that because they didn't have access to knowledge? No. They thought they didn't need more knowledge. It wasn't about whether the knowledge was accessible or not. Otherwise, God wouldn't have made the statement that he made. My people perish for a lack of knowledge. We all know that it's God's will for no one to perish. And he's saying people perish for lack of knowledge. It's not because they don't have access to it. It's because they believe that they don't need it. Or the knowledge that is available to them, they don't give any attention to. They don't pay any attention to it. A lot of times we get blocked by what it is the Lord's trying to do in our lives because of doubt. It is the sin that so easily entangles us. I believe it's Hebrews chapter 12, where the Bible talks about we get entangled in a sin that so easily entangles us. And I used to wrestle with what that verse really meant. I used to wrestle with, okay, so how can there be one common thing that entangles everybody? Like, we all have different sins. We all struggle, with different things in our lives. And it seems like the devil, Satan, customizes sins that hit us right in our weak spots, right? I'm sure you feel me. You understand what I'm saying? The reality is the sin that entangles all of us is doubt. It's lack of faith. That's it. The whole chapter, chapter 12 and chapter 11 in Hebrews is about faith. It just gets through listing all the faith giants, right? The father of faith, Abraham, and all of the other people weren't able to see what it was God was doing, but continued on the path, right? I mean, God told Abraham to pack up and go. Didn't even tell him where he was going. Then he told him to sacrifice the only son that he had after he waited almost 100 years to be a father. It's like, geez, that's kind of faith that, frankly, I'm not familiar with. I want to be familiar with it, but I'm not. I haven't had that. I can't imagine taking one of my daughters and sacrificing them, no matter what. But Abraham did, and God spared him. God says, don't get tangled up by the doubt. Don't get tripped up by your doubt. Even when the world seems like it's against you, even when it seems like things aren't going your way, all circumstances are beneath you. I have made the mistake of saying this phrase, under the circumstances. Like, under the circumstances, I guess I'm doing pretty good. Under the circumstances, I guess the result that I got was not that bad. Under the circumstances. Think about that. Think about how often you either think that or use that. Under the circumstances. That means the circumstances are above you. That means that you have no control. The circumstances are dictating your life. That's miserable. That sucks. Don't let circumstances dictate your life. Circumstances are circumstances, but you don't have to be under them. In fact, the Bible says you should be above them. The Bible says that you're an overcomer. The Bible says all kinds of things about you that run straight counter to being under your circumstances. It's not really a resource problem. It's a resourcefulness problem that we have. It's not really an access problem. It's an awareness problem. We're aware of every reason why we can't do something because it's so easy to vividly imagine when something's not going to work out. It's so difficult to imagine what it's going to be like when something does work out. And if you get to where you're expecting things to not work out for you, guess what you're going to find more of in your life? That's right. You're going to find more often than not things are not going to work out for you. You know why? Because that's what you're looking for. That's what your awareness is set to. You're set up to see the negative impact, the loss, the bad outcome. You're looking for it and you'll find it. Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it. If you're looking for lack, you'll find that. If you're looking for abundance, you'll find that. I hope that it makes you realize that, there's a lot of opportunity in life. There are a lot of things that have happened that have allowed you to still be here right now. If you're still breathing air, then God's done a lot for you to still be here. There's a lot of just misses that you don't even know about. I hope that this encourages you. I hope that you're blessed beyond measure. You guys have a fantastic day.